Hello, my name is Alicia Curtis, and I am the American Society of Civil Engineers Student Chapter President here at Fresno State University. I wanted to go over the American Society for Engineering Education's 90-Day Equity Challenge. The 90-Day Equity Challenge was to give students like us a way to identify a problem that we see occurring in our local communities, and from that, trying to figure out a way to help solve that problem. To start, the American Society of Civil Engineers is the oldest engineering foundation that was founded in 1852 that focuses on the civil engineering profession, but primarily to protect public health, safety, and welfare. For us, our concern was outreach. Growing up in the Central Valley, there's not a lot of STEM representation around us. And as a cabinet, we decided that we wanted to help change the way that kids locally saw the profession and hopefully be able to identify themselves in us or other representatives. I wanted to give this quote by Devin Mathis, who spoke on the Equity in STEM Act, which was a new assembly bill presented in February of this year. And he said that programs like these are a proven and effective form of learning that enables students to gain the necessary experience and knowledge to pursue a career after graduation. Unfortunately, too few of these programs are situated in underserved areas such as the Central Valley. To start, we wanted to kind of figure out how are we going to be a change? How is this going to successfully impact other students around us? So preliminary, we wanted to identify what it was exactly that was preventing our community from flourishing, which we identified as a lack of representation. So then within that first month, we wanted to establish surrounding county education connections, in which we have two, one with the Tulare County of Education and one with the nearby Fresno County Education Center. And in the second month, we wanted to plan and execute at least one event. And in the third month, we wanted to reassess how that first event went and then go ahead and volunteer again, whether that be with our own event or with a local partnership. Our goals by doing this 90-day equity challenge was to have an active membership. Given with the pandemic, our membership has been extremely low. And as we slowly come back face to face, we wanted to make sure that we are promoting as best as we can to gain extra members. And so with that, we created the goal of 15 students with the global organization. On top of that, we also wanted 50 new followers on our Instagram to help use social media as a platform to gain that outreach and that exposure to those students that may not even be here yet. So those prospective students would also be a target. And then also, of course, our activities to host more outreach events targeting those underserved communities the best that we can. To start with our preliminary assessment, we looked at our surrounding college. We are predominantly a Latino and Latina community, so Latinx. We are a Hispanic serving institution. And the next would be white with 22% and 29% that were transfer students coming from local community colleges, 14% commuting, and 14% not identifying, and that 2% that did identify as DACA students. Using the information that we had a better understanding of what our community needed. To start, we realized that they may not have the resources to get internships or to feel competitive enough to apply to their dream school. So while these meetings seem like they're targeted just to our student chapter members, they are actually made for all public attendees to be able to participate in. With that, we launched our new Student Success Series. Our first event was Resume Red Lines, where they got to actually sit down one-on-one and talk to professionals and kind of go over what it is that they want and how they can reflect that in their resumes. We also had other general meetings to talk about internships and how they can successfully apply themselves to ones that they are looking for and what we've learned along the way to help them. And then, of course, our last one, outside of the meetings, we had other successes. But to go back to our goals, we only met 47 out of the 50 followers, which we still consider a success given that at the start of this challenge, our university actually went back online for 2 to 3 weeks given the pandemic. Our COVID cases were too high, and so we had to backtrack some of the plans that we had in the beginning of the semester. So we still consider that good despite all those cancellations. And we also still got our 15 registered members, even though we had that late start coming back. We had also participated in Dia de Ciencias, which is an outreach event that we did with SHIP, which is the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. We volunteered with them to help over 70 7th and 8th graders to spark their interest in STEM. And we did this through the KiwiCo kits. And through that, we built miniature robots. And then we also built a spaghetti tower. And this was really great for them to challenge themselves as they also competed for prizes. We also participated in Fresno State Day, which was to engage with local K through 12 students about STEM and ASCE. At this event, it was hosted with our college, the Laos College of Engineering. So there was over 200 students, and we helped provide tours and insight regarding our experience here at Fresno State. We also had the chance to present to a community college up north of us, and this was an introduction of what ASCE was and kind of what Fresno State does to support us and the other things that we can provide them. And our transferring recommendations, as our presenters in this group were both transfers to Fresno State University to kind of give that insight and that extra tips. So takeaways from this challenge was to develop a better polling system, was to be more inclusive, but also to have other questions regarding some other identifications. We also want to incorporate more partnerships to further reach audiences, such as, again, with SHIP. We would like to do something in the future with the Society of Women Engineers, as well as the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And then other areas might also be struggling, so we want to include all of Central Valley, not just locally here in Fresno and Tulare County, but also including Kings County. So thank you for listening to this presentation, and we would also like to provide credits to SlidesGo, Flaticon, and FreePick, and the illustrations that were provided by Stories. Thank you.